Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a layout of this beautiful greenhouse bar and restaurant that we went to in our recent trip to Nashville. And I'm going to be pairing it today with the Cocoa Daisy Dandelion Wishes collection, mainly because how gorgeous is that paper with this set of photos. So these are photos from the restaurant's Facebook page because they take way more beautiful photos than I do of their space. And so I wanted to have some really like show-stopping photos that I'm printing full page here. And I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to create a flip up like this and have like this paper here or a paper here, and perhaps even like I will have the front of this, and then I think I'm gonna open it up this way, and then I will have this whole page to do with these photos, and then add my journaling as well. Or I might actually put this photo here. I'm not quite sure yet what the arrangement's gonna end up being. I need to like put it together first, and then I'll figure it out. But that is where I'm starting, so let's go.
All right, I'm gonna say that this is my absolute favorite layout with this kit. I just absolutely adore the way this page came out, but it was 100% a process to get there. This video was so long and I had to speed it up and cut out so much hemming and hawing just to make it like digestible and short enough for somebody to actually watch, because I just could not decide. There was just so much that I wanted to do and play with and add to this page, and then I couldn't make like the orientation work. It was a lot. So what I'm starting out doing here is backing this photo with this subtle paper to go on the outside, because I'm going to add the journaling card that I'm going to write on plus a title on the outside of this page. So I thought maybe I might put the pictures there because I don't really like hiding the actual pictures of us, but I decided that they just looked better on this background paper. So I'm gonna put them on here instead, and I'm gonna put the title on the outside, and that just makes it more fun to like flip the page and see the photos and all of that. I just like interactive scrapbooking. It really is my thing. It's super fun. That's why I don't use page protectors. And so, yeah, I'm going to back this photo on this yellow paper, and I'm going to trim down at the bottom so it's just a nice rectangle. And then this is where I start to lose my way a little bit. I wanted to use these hexagons, but they didn't fit together right because they were like that, especially that pink one was just too small. And so I end up putting them down, and then I'm going to pull them up later and do something else. They just really threw off the balance of this page just immediately, and I think that's part of the reason why I started struggling so quickly, is because of those hexagons, really. So I'm going to go actually to the outside of the page and work on like the title and stuff, and come back to the inside here in a minute because it was just too much. So I'm using just the scrap of the pattern paper that I already have as the hinge. You can use a white cardstock if you want, but this just kind of continues the pattern, so it looks really great. And then I'm attached it to the back of the paper, and then I'm going to attach this side to the back of the outside paper, and then I will sandwich the whole strip in between the paper and the photo. So it's just a simple way, and it's more stable than washi tape as long as you get enough adhesive going. Sometimes I have to add liquid glue because the tape runner doesn't quite hold it well enough depending on how heavy it gets, but as long as you have enough adhesive, this is way more stable than using washi tape. And it's easy, except for when you get sticky stuff on your photo. So these two photos they almost are like patterns in themselves, right? They're just big statement pieces, and I'm going to add lots of stuff to them to make it my own and not just a photo sitting there. But first, let's work on the outside. Well, I'll go back and forth, and then I'll work on the outside. So I'm going to add my holes so I don't lose sight of where they're going to be. You can see that this is just really... And perhaps it's because I put them on that side instead of the other side. Maybe if I had put them on the other side of the photo, it would have worked better, but I didn't. So we're just going to put it aside for the moment, and I'm going to use this journaling card For my actual journaling card, eventually I will add in my journaling, and then I'm going to add in my title to the top of it. So I want to mat this on this same yellow paper just because I wanted a bit more of a pop of color. I chose that blue paper because it was nice and neutral, but I still want color, so I'm going to add some there. I'm going to add the title with that really bright green alpha that came in this collection. So it'll tie in with that sort of greenish, like different green on that You Can Find Me in My Garden chipboard that I use. You can see that it's kind of that limey green rather than the deep blue green of the paper. So I'm adding the greenhouse bar, and then I wanted to add Nashville to it. So I'm moving my journaling card down, and I'm going to add Nashville in this smaller alphabet from the classic planner stickers. Then I'm going to start adding on rub-ons. So I added this one to the bottom of my, sorry for my head, to the bottom of my photo. And that's when I started going, okay, I really need to rearrange these hexagons because I just don't like that the words were so close together. I was just on the struggle bus a little bit, but this comes together so beautifully. It's not a big deal. Sometimes you got to do the wrong thing before you do the right thing. So now it says, let's eat good food in the garden, which is, we were in a greenhouse bar. So that's basically what we did. I don't garden. I am a plant mom, but all of my planting is on the inside. So I was happy to use some of these gardening embellishments. I decided that I needed to widen the footprint of the photo. So I used those film strips behind that. Now I'm going to start using a bunch of these rub-ons, and we're going to go super fast here in a second because I use so many rub-ons and I just rearrange everything. It just takes forever. So I just added that paint splotch behind bar so it stood out a little bit. I felt like there was not enough going on, and there's not. I'm going to come back to that title again later. So here's where we're going to start going a little bit faster. I pulled out a bunch of die cuts for this page, and I want to use a ton of these butterflies all over the page. But first I'm going to start by fixing what's going on this page. So I'm going to start pulling off these hexagons, and I decided I wanted to use a bunch of these like dandelion stalks instead of the hexagons to anchor my photo. So I'm going to actually put it in one of those pots down there, but I'm trying to put this on here so that it doesn't go too far into the fold. You can see I'm pulling off these hexagons so that I can put the pot here. I pull them off one by one. Eventually I'm like, nope, I want none of them. But first I try to leave them on slowly. I did move that pink one up, and that works a little bit better. And then I'm going to start using all of these butterflies. I just lightly put that butterfly down because I don't know where I want it to be yet. I like that better with the smile. It's a little bit smaller, takes up a little less room, feels a little less visually impactful, so I thought that was better. Added another pot to the other side with the butterfly a little lower. I'm gonna add butterflies on my photos too, like they're flying around in the garden. And then I realized right here that there are two different kinds of butterflies. There are butterflies with white edges and butterflies without white edges. And the butterflies without white edges look better on my photos. So I'm going to pull out all of the ones I can find without the white edges. And the ones without the white edges are actually a little bit bigger too, generally. So they take up a little bit more space. I'm going to pull this one off. It's not a big deal that it leaves some stuff behind because I'm just putting this one right over the top of it. I do run out of the butterflies without the white outlines, so I use some of the ones with white outlines, but I cut the white outlines off to make it work. So these two butterflies, this one and the one on the photo, are the same, and they are like the same height as well, like within your eyeline. So I wanted to change that out, so I'm going to do this pink one instead. Now I'm going to add some to the other side. I know I wanted to add that blue one over here. I like the way it's facing the opposite way, so it sort of frames in the whole spread when you have it open. So now I'm going to go through and find the rest of them. And I added that yellow one there that I cut the edges off of, and I'm going to cut the edge off of this one too, and I'm going to put it up here in this corner. And now we've got butterflies everywhere, so now we're going to have all kinds of sequins. I'm using the Nuvo liquid glue because it holds the best outside of the pocket, and I'm just adding sequins everywhere. I feel like I may have added a few too many sequins to, especially that butterfly down there by the chipboard piece, but It was too late. I already added all the glue, so we just went for it. Just went all in on the sequins. But I'm starting on this side, and then I'm going to move to the middle, and then I will work on the outside edge. But it is just, you know, you can see why this took forever, because I'm just adding a million sequins. So pretty though. I love this sequin set. So much beautiful green and yellow. It matched perfectly with the greens and yellows that I pulled out for this page. So I was very excited. I'm just kind of surrounding all of the butterflies with sequins. Just because, for the bling. But this is coming together so beautifully. I was so excited at this point that I loved it so much. I might have gone a little wild with the sequins again, but whatever. All right, so I've got them all down now. I decided I didn't want that tab, and I need to cut this. But that is almost it. So we're going to slow back down again. I'm going to add a rub on over here just to fill up this awkward space where I don't really want to write. And I decided I just need more butterflies. But those butterflies, I was like out of the right butterflies. So I decided instead to use rub on butterflies. And they were smaller, and so it worked better. It filled up the space, and I just really, really love how it all came together. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy and Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is an affiliate link to Coco Daisy in the description box below, and I will see you next time. Thank you.